Hey, Ryan Stewman here, and this is the first video that you will be receiving over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to send you some free videos with some tips on how to get ahead in your direct selling and marketing efforts. And I just want to start off by saying thank you for your time. This video is going to be a little bit longer than the other ones you've watched, and the others will be about the same length as this one. And I just want to say I know that your time is important to you, and I just thank you for taking the time out to listen to what I have to say. So step one to being successful in any direct selling effort, no matter if your job is mortgages, real estate, network marketing, software sales, any direct selling opportunity, the first step is to get into your warm market. For me personally, before I understood, before I understood all of these principles and everything, my first mortgage loan was a friend of mine's parents' refinance. I approached all my friends and that I knew that their parents owned their homes because we were all only 21 years old when we started doing this. And the first one that I ever did was my friend's parents, and that was my warm market. Well, I tell you that not because you're trying to get into mortgages, obviously, if you're watching this video, but simply to tell you that that was my first step, even though I wasn't creating a blueprint then to get into this. So your first step in direct sales is to go and approach your warm market. No matter what the other guys say on the internet, the warm market is the fastest way to get on the fast track to get money in direct sales. Now, you approach your warm market, and the first thing you do is if you haven't selected a product that you're going to direct sell yet, you need to start doing your research now. And also, while I've got you stopped for a second, you need to, if you take notes, grab a pen and a piece of paper, and there might be something interesting you'd like to write down here. But anyway, back to the story. So your warm market's the most important part to get you on the fast track to make money. You have to find a product that you believe in, a product that you can get behind, a product that you think is in demand, a product that other people will want. You have to find that, something that fits your personality, fits your knowledge level, and that you think that you can get easily involved and start marketing. And once you do that, then you have no shame inside of you, and you approach your warm market, your brothers and sisters, your parents, your friends, your coworkers, and that's how you really get started. But let me give you a little disclaimer here. You have to be careful who you choose to align yourself with. Because like I gave in an earlier video that you probably watched, is why you're receiving this one, is if you go sponsor your Uncle Bob, who's an alcoholic failure in everything he does in life, you may think that you can revive him, but there's a good chance you're wasting your time. And I'll get into, as we get into this series, I'll get further into how not to waste your time and how to pick leaders. But as we're back on track here, you want to be careful who you align yourself with, because you want to pick somebody that you know is either on your level, can be brought up to your level, or is above your level. Because you don't want to sponsor someone that's not going to work the deal. Because if you go out there and you make one-time money off the deal and you don't receive residual income from them and they're not working the program, then you fail. Because their failure is your failure. As we'll get later in this series when I talk about leadership, it is your job to be a leader. So approaching your warm market, make sure you pick the right alignments out and the right people. Once you have your prospects written down of who you want to get in contact with, just call them. Don't be afraid. Call them and say, hey, listen, I got involved in something that, I think with your mindset and your mentality, you might like it. If you don't, no problem, but I would just like to take about 20 to 30 minutes of your time. Can we meet at Starbucks? Can we meet at McDonald's? Wherever you want to meet, your house, I would just really like to have a one-on-one. And then when you approach them with the one-on-one, you explain your product, you have your presentation in hand, you know what you're doing, you know what you're getting into, and you talk with them intelligently. So in order to talk intelligently, you need to do your due diligence on your product. Make sure you fully understand everything that it does and what the benefits of using it for your clients are going to be. Some people are just going to be interested. They say, hey, I really like what you're selling, but I don't think that I could sell it, but I really like to take it. And then all you've got to do is sign them up at preferred customers. Most direct sales companies pay heavy commissions for preferred customers because they're not having to pay multiple tiers down for the different commission structures for people trying to sell it. So that's another thing to keep in mind, that everybody could be a potential preferred customer if nothing else. So while you're going through your warm market, and for most people, you exhaust your warm market after 90 days. You're excited for the first 30, and then you've got to make yourself stay excited and stay on the ball. Now, your upline is going to tell you things like you need to attend hotel meetings, you need to have home meetings, you need to do stay on the calls, and all that stuff is very true. Okay, a lot of the guys on the internet, I've watched the videos, they make fun of it and they knock it, but I'm going to be honest with you, face-to-face selling and going to a hotel meeting works for this reason. Not because it's fun or you lure people there. It's for the simple fact that you're in a setting where there's other people that are going to be signing up, there's accountability there, and there's always somebody speaking that is better than you, or he wouldn't be speaking, you would, or she. So you just have to keep that in mind. It's also a great way for you to stay plugged in. And staying plugged in is what keeps you excited, because just like any other job, after you've been there for a short amount of time, or maybe even a small extended amount of time, you start to get to where it's just a job and you're not excited. You lost a good new start, fresh feeling from it all. So this is a good way to keep you pumped up too. Plus, you never know when they may drop something out there that you didn't know before, so it's always a learning structure. I'm not saying you have to go 100% plugged into hotel meetings and phone calls and conference calls and all that stuff, but I'm saying it's a good idea to stay excited and to stay plugged in, because you all know that Zig Ziglar says that you can't win if you're not plugged in. So, having said that, your warm market is really where you first get started. And you got to realize that you're a leader. Even though you're approaching them and you may not think of yourself as a leader, you are. And so if you bought the most expensive package that your opportunity offers, then that's what you should lead them to do. If you bought the least expensive package that your opportunity offers, that's what you should lead them to do. Some people will do more and above you, but you will at least set the pace for whoever you're signing up. That's why I always recommend to people that are ready to get into this deal to go ahead and buy the most expensive package that we sell, because first of all, I feel that it's just as easy to get $1,000 as it is $100 from someone. They're either going to give it and they like the opportunity or they don't. And $1,000 to me says that, hey, I'm committed. So back to that. I always recommend that they get that, because that's going to put them on the fastest track to get money. That's going to be able to put them the most product in other people's hands to get rid of it. And also other people are going to say, well, how much did you do when you get started? Of course that's what everybody's going to ask, because you're their leader. You're the person that brought it to them, so they want to know what you did so that they can do exactly what you did. And if you say that, then that puts it on them to want to do the same thing. Plus, once you buy the most expensive package of whatever opportunity you're in, that gives you a ton, an arsenal of things to get out there and get after and get in the hands of other people, because everybody you touch is a potential prospect. Now, the cool thing about your warm market is you can gather them all up together at the same time, have them bring friends, and their warm market will grow as well. It's your job not only to sign people up on your binary plan, or on your lateral plan, but it's important to also make sure that the people underneath you in your downline are bringing people and signing them up as well. You just got to sign up as many people as you can, get excited about the product, get as many people as you can excited about the product so that they can get their circle of influence excited about the product, and you're off to a great start. At that point, if you'll sign up 4 people personally in a month, you'll have already made $1,000 with most opportunities. And then the numbers only grow from there, because then it's your job to go help them. Now, another important, super important thing about your warm market is you have to act like your job's fun. One of the mistakes that I made early on is I'm such a business guy. I mean, I am business driven. I love it. I love every aspect about it. It's like a video game. Dollars are like getting the highest score to me. So, you know, one thing that you've got to do though is you've got to make the network marketing or direct selling effort that you're in seem like fun, because nobody wants to get involved with something that sounds like work. Now, even though you and I understand that it is work, you have to make it fun. That's why you want to get fun people involved with you. You want to get fun people at the meetings. That way other fun people show up, and that just builds momentum and keeps excitement going. I've seen it happen. There's an opportunity in Dallas that I went to that all the cool people belong to, and I mean, there was a lot of momentum and people signing up in there just because it wasn't about the opportunity, it was about the atmosphere. So there's a couple of different elements you need to create in your marketing and your meetings. I recommend meeting someone for the first time face-to-face and then bringing them to a hotel meeting if they're in your area. And then after they've come to the meeting, don't just spew a bunch of information about your product that maybe your upline left out. Trust me, whatever they didn't go over in the meetings or the conference calls, they didn't go over it intentionally, because they just don't want to spew too much information on somebody. So take a step back, call them a few days later, and ask them what they thought about it. You lead with need. You question the confession. So what you've got to do is you've got to ask them questions like, hey, I really appreciate you coming there the other night. What'd you think about all that? Let them tell you what they need from you. Let them tell you what the next steps will be. The answer's in there. The yes or no is in their tone and in whatever feedback they give you. All you've got to do is dig for it and get it out of them. And I've said this before, I hate the word no more than any other word on the planet, but I love the word yes. I love it, love it, love it. You got to get in that same mentality, because some will, some won't, so what? Some people are going to tell you no. Some people are going to think you're crazy. Some people are just going to try to be dream smashers. But having said that, let me take a side note. You really have to make up in your mind that you're not going to be a dream smasher, because there's going to be people that you run into that you offer your opportunity to, and they're going to already be in a different opportunity that they're going to be in love with, and you can't make fun of it. You can't bash it. You can't say that yours is better, for the simple fact that a few months down the road, if they're failing in theirs and you're winning in yours, they'll start taking a look into your opportunity. So you cannot be a dream smasher. You cheer people on, you get them excited, even if they're not involved in your company and they're involved in something else. Even in the mortgage industry, for me, even if I'm not doing business with a real estate agent, I'll still talk good about the company that they're doing business with, because that puts a positive picture in their head. They come back to me later, they'll remember, hey, you know, he didn't knock them. He actually had good stuff to say about him. Maybe I'll give him a chance. So keep that in mind. Your opportunity is the best in your mind, and keep it that way, but it doesn't have to be the best in anybody else's mind. But eventually, once you start winning, it will be the best in their mind, I promise you. Because people see you in a different perspective than you see yourself. How you occur to people is completely different than how you think you occur to people, I promise you. So you have to really, like I said, ask them the questions, get them involved, sign up, learn, teach them. Once you get them involved, don't just leave them hanging and expect them to go out. Make sure that they stay plugged in. Make sure that they come to the hotel meetings with you. And this grows your group. But like I said, after 90 days, you'll exhaust that warm market. But the only way you're going to get quick money to get started in network marketing is to get your warm market signed up. So I think I've rambled on enough for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you took some notes. The further we go into this video series, the more in detail I'll get on certain things. But I think the warm market should be pretty much simple, and you should understand it, because that's what all your upline is going to be teaching you. Starting on the next video is when we get into some nitty-gritty stuff on the internet. So I'm Ryan Stewman, the energy producer. Thanks again for your time. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you need me, my phone number and email is always attached to these emails that come out here. Feel free to give me a call anytime. I don't believe in call waiting, so if you call me and I'm on the other line, chances are it may be a while before I call you back, because I don't like interrupting people on the phone, but I will get back in touch with you. But again, thanks again, and we'll catch you in a couple of days. Now let's go do something!